everyone, and welcome to another weekly connection. So today we're going to talk about the ego and the lie. And I think Pat put an intro from the ocean here. He was having a hard time downloading, so I'm not sure he got it, but we are really back in the desert, but I was just sharing more ocean views with you. It seems like that vacation was a long time ago, doesn't it, Pat? So I'm going to spray my aura, make it all beautiful. And get my cosmic thrust oil, right? Because that'll bring us together in energy. You only need a drop. Rub it together. Good. Bring it into your aura. And cup your hands together. And take a deep breath in. And even if you don't have the cosmic thrust, just breathe deeply while we do this. And what this is doing is connecting us through time and space. So we talked about truth, and we've got the head honchos here running this one. We talked about truth before, but they wanted to go a little bit further with it, in that our egos are very, very tricky. And sorry about the sunglasses, but it's awfully bright out here. We had 3 days, right, Pat, steady of rain? That was cool, huh? But that's gone. But it's muggy, so it's still monsoon season, so we will get more this end of the week, I think. So that'll be good. So anyway, your ego is very, very tricky. Tricky, tricky, tricky. We understand that. So I want you to think about someone, because there's probably someone you know, or yourself, that have a lie that now they can't get out of, they can't change. That lie has changed their life so that now they can't tell the truth because it would so much impact their lives. That's in the extreme sense. But in the little sense, the whole idea of this and the great souls that are here to talk to us about this are saying that we are always tricked by our ego, to believe what is easier. And that is a very interesting dilemma. And so if you look at your past, I'm sure you can find times that you've done that. Now, I'm not saying you should go tell the world whatever. I'm saying that what you need to do is recognize those things in the past so you don't do them in the future or now. Really, now. So you just want to be aware. The whole idea in self-realization is to start to observe yourself living the life. When you observe yourself living the life, it means that you're not living from your ego as the person in the front seat. Do you still have an ego? Sure. You're not going to get rid of an ego in any physical form, and that's all the way through the 6th dimension. You're not egoless until 7 and above. And so here we are on 3D Earth with 3D bodies and 3D minds and 3D egos. But your consciousness demands your ego's behavior. Your consciousness is going to not let your ego box you into a situation that is not helpful. So the whole idea of lucidity is to be able to see through the ego so that you're in the driver's seat, so that you're no longer intimidated into a lie, which happens so often to people in life, right? We've all experienced that, right? So the whole idea is that when we come from that heart, from that love, it's then the ego kind of lets go. And it stops trying to have you live a lie. Because the ego is very insecure, right? Because remember, the ego is looking for love in all the wrong places, usually. So the point is that we want to redirect ourselves, redirect the focus of our lives so that we are coming from our heart. And when you come from your heart, your ego gives up the reins. It's when you come from your mind that your ego has to control it. And if something isn't just so or not the way you like it, then we tend to back ourselves into corners. And that's what we want to avoid. Because we're trying to open up our awareness. We're trying to see through all the veils, all the images of reality that are out here. And we know we're actually living in alternate realities right now in this country and in the world. It's really amazing. And we always have. But it's just very apparent right now. So in a way, this is good because it's showing you that when you are coming from your ego, when your ego is running the show through your mind, the darndest things can happen and appear to that person or the many or whoever that they are truth. When in fact, the only way to find truth is through the heart and with love. And so I can't get mad at a government. I can't get mad at a person. I can't feel that way. Because just like last week when we were talking, you have to bless people no matter what, right? But your ego wants to go beep, 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 beep. And you can't do that when you're coming from your heart. Now, you have opinion. You know what you think. You know what you know. That's great. But what I think and what I know may not be the same as what you think and know. Therefore, I never tell you what you should think and know. Some people may disagree with that. Oh, they've got to do this and this and this and this. That is indeed an example of the ego leading the mind. And that, of course, is all you see in the world. So no matter what group you belong to or belief systems you belong to, they are all the ego leading the mind, without exception. That's why it's self-realization. Because when you are coming from that place in your heart, you're observing all of these realities, all of these illusions of truth. And you see where the ego has created the lie. And then, it's kind of like Lord Kutumi says about your sacral chakra. Your sacral chakra, he calls it your should and your should not chakra. And that is where you fall into the blind path of following, the masses through different belief systems. When we understand and we are can I say more realized? Not maybe totally. But when we're waking up to this, we may choose the same things. Like I would choose not to harm another person. But I'm not doing that because of God or because of law. I'm doing that because I would not be able to hurt another person. Because in my heart, and being an empath, I would feel what they would feel, and I would not in any way want to inflict pain on another person. So you still may choose whatever in your opinion you choose. But the difference is that it's coming from your heart and not from the mind, leading the ego into believing something because that's what you were raised. So sometimes that's confusing to people because they want to believe what they have been told is truth. And when you tell them it's not truth, they get upset because then you're bursting their paradigm, their whole reality, and the ego wants to control that. Oh my goodness, this is a threat to your ego. Because because you are now going to make a choice based on your heart. So the only way out of the ego and the lie is to come from your heart. And keep practicing that. I won't be bothered by that anymore. Keep practicing it that we did in the last video on the beach. Because that's going to help you reprogram this system. And the more you come from your heart and the more you feel love, the more the ego lets go and stops wanting to be right or needing to be right. Your ego really needs to be right, you know? That's its survival. That's its whole thing. So let's do it. Let's bring that love into our heart. And let's feel that light come into us. That we can become these impartial observers of light, of life. Yes? So we bring that golden light, thick, viscous, yummy light, like honey, right? And it comes in and it sticks to every cell and every pore of your body and just fills you up. And it just comes running down your whole body, filling every cell and every molecule, right down past your knees into the earth, to the mother. Hang on to that grid. You go right down into the grid, which is the mother's energy field, right? Which connects her chakra systems. And then we curl it around and we bring it with an essence of her right up the back of our spines and back to source. And that just orbits around. That just comes around. You just want to get your orbit on. And get that light to just move around and around and around. I like mine a little fast. Sometimes I like it slow, but usually it's got a pretty good rhythm to it. It's just kind of got a rhythm like that, you know. But find what yours is and just get that orbit on, and that's your heaven and earth connection. It's essential right now, especially with everything that's going on in the earth and the sun and all of that stuff. Lots happening. It's not quiet. Good. So now we're going to bring it down. This time when we bring it down, and we bring it all the way back up with the mother in it, so we're nurtured and happy and full of that energy of love. And then we let it waterfall out, first to our first aura, which is, of course, our genetic makeup, right? Most of your past lives, when we do past life readings, are in the first three auras, and predominantly one, because that's where your purpose is. So you carry a lot of these themes through lifetimes. And then your sacral chakra, I keep catching my arm, sacral chakra, which is, as we said before, that should and should not chakra. And this is where we really want to work. And Katumi just really has it about this, because this is where the ego lets go of the doctrine. And this is what is so, so important for us to move forward in the light, to move to the fifth. Because in the fifth you have opinions, but nobody cares. They're not doctrine. They're not like, if you don't do this, you're going to die, you know? Right. If you don't go to church on Sunday, it's a mortal sin, and if you die, you're dead. You're going to hell. Didn't matter how good you were. Those are doctrine. And a lot of people that say, this is how it is, this is what happened, so-and-so did this, and so-and-so did that. No, those are also doctrine. Even if they're modern day, even if it's just current history, that's a doctrine. It's a dictate. Something that's telling you what is right and what is wrong. That's where we're working on this sacral aura. So the more we saturate it, the easier it is for us to let go of those clumped up light threads that are holding all these old patterns. And your third aura, which is, of course, your power center and your connection to the collective consciousness. So we want to make that nice and strong, so that when we connect, when we're coming from the heart, we bring that energy. What happens is the heart energy is a crucible, and it is a mixing field between the solar plexus and the throat. And so when we do that, we bring it down through the solar plexus, up through the heart, and it just kind of blends in that energy and that power with love. And then you go to your throat, where you express that. As I said, that heart crucible is the one between the lower and the upper tridents, and it's a mixing valve between the heart and the throat, so that we express love. And then your third eye, aura, which is like shimmering white sequins. Opalescent-y, shimmery, really shimmery. I guess that's what shimmery means. And that is your knowing of who you are. It's your confidence about being a light being. And then your crown, where you wear your crown proudly, knowing that you are this little light seed, helping yourself first, but helping the planet a whole lot, just by being the light, just by learning to come from your heart 24/7. It's a journey for all of us. But I think we're doing really, really well. And I think you have to feel confident in that. Because when you push out that crown aura, out with this light, it creates that golden shield where you actually see others empathically. So it's very hard to judge when you're wearing your shield. Not impossible, but hard, because you feel what the others feel. And then you allow them to come and munch and crunch that light, because that will help them further in their journey. And we love to do this job because we all want to come from light. We all want to feel that love 24/7 of the light. It is only the ego that doesn't allow you to feel love. That could be another lecture. But anyway, bring that light in so that you are that light and you are love. 24/7, all the time. So this is our journey, and we're doing very well. But please make sure to stay grounded, because the energies are very zizzy and lots of stuff happening. So wear magnets. Actually, I have magnets on sale on my web. But whatever you can do to get them, you probably need to wear a few, because it's extremely volatile in the energy field. Now, that's not a scary bad thing. That is just telling you that we are moving. And we are moving through, that's a whole other thing, where we're moving through the photon belt and all the stuff that's going on with that. So anyway, let's see. This week, I would like to change it up. Of course, I want you to subscribe and like me, because that's how Facebook works. This isn't Facebook, YouTube works. But what I'd also like you to do in the comments is give me ideas or questions of things that you would like to hear about. And we'll run it through the guys over here and see what they say. So yeah, I'd like to know what you would like in the future. All right. So I love you all. Have a great week, and hope that the West gets more rain, because it is coming in. And I love you all. Bye-bye.